Appreciate that. Thank you all for having me. Can we give Elaine a high five and the team? Cassandra, thank you, Elaine. Clapping will make the mic all distorted and everything. But I'm glad to be here. And I think I would like to have this as interactive as possible. I have a presentation, which I'm going to use as a foundation for some comments and thoughts. And today is really talking about being a celebrity CEO, personal branding. To the young lady with the coffee cup in her hand. It may not be exactly being the CEO as you envisioned, but we may touch on that. But it's really focused, I believe. I'll see a nod from Elaine. I could have the wrong presentation. I've done that once or twice in my life. Okay, good. But the client loved it. I spoke for BlackBerry. People may remember. And they had presentation A on their website, presentation B, let's say, in the emails to me. So I gave presentation B, but everybody was expecting A, but they were like, Ramon, it was great. So the next time, of course, I corrected myself, but they corrected themselves too. So we were wrong twice. So anyways, but it's all good. So, but I'm glad to be here. And I think we'll move on. I think we have about, I have plenty of time, by the way, but I think we have about 35 minutes together. I think it is about an hour, but I'm happy to go over that. I'll get a nod, or cues from Elaine, how she wants to proceed. But, I may go through slides, I may not, but here's the concept and the thought of personal branding as I see it. I will. Tom, you're going to vote. Okay, Tom, I want you to tell me, do you like this view or not? Is that, you tell me if we want to keep it engaging or not. Okay. Can you see that, by the way?
As far as, does that make me want to grab a can of spaghetti?
It shouldn't. This view shouldn't. But meaning, is it fun? Is you like something y'all like? I can just go like this and just have me. But sometimes visuals are nice to break up the visual monotony. So I think I'll use it, Elaine, for now. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But I won't use it all the time, but just as a framework for some things we're talking about. So the bottom line of being the celebrity CEO is, I think many of us business owners were like that can of spaghetti, a little boring and stale. And that's a picture of No Frills brand spaghetti. Now, when I was smaller, we were from a middle-class family, like most Americans are. There's the very, very wealthy and the very, very poor. Most of us are in the middle somewhere. And once in a blue moon, I remember going to the store and having to get this kind of food. It was now back then, today, I don't know what you all have in Nevada, but we have Shop right here in Pathmark. They have their own store brand, so it looks as glitzy as Kellogg's, right? But some of you may remember, right? 20 years ago, whatever it was, white or yellow, in this case, packaging and black text. That's it. Didn't even have the little spaghetti on it. So it was made, I guess, to look unappealing. But many of us, that's what our businesses are like. Kind of dry and just we try to play it safe with everybody else. But what I advocate with the concept of being the celebrity CEO in your brand is really to be that. We all want the real deal, right? We all want to pop and sizzle. So that's really the bedrock overview that I want to touch on today, is what it means to be the celebrity CEO of our industry. That's what I'm going to touch on for the next few minutes, just to lay the foundation. Then we'll have some fun and we can open up and maybe get to some of your specific questions. But some questions people ask: how can I stand out? How can I be different? How can I be memorable? And of course, the number one question that we all ask in business, right? How can I get people to chase after me? Because I'm sure there's nothing more, Tom and Mike and Zach and I'm going to stop saying all the names because I'm going to mix them up. But is instead of me having to chase clients all the time, how can I be a client magnet? And so that's kind of the concept of this celebrity CEO. It doesn't mean celebrity like being President Biden or President Trump, take your pick, or whatever the celebrity of the day may be. This really means, how can I be the celebrity in my industry? Adams Hub, now that's more of a corporate brand, could be well known in the area, right? And not even in the area, well known to entrepreneurs in Carson City, right? Yeah, Carson City. You follow what I mean? Or taking a case of Elaine as the executive director, right? She has some cachet. She may be known. Anybody who's saying entrepreneurship or small business, hey, see that lady Elaine, as it were. So all of you, whether some of you are retired or in business, whatever you're doing, want to be a client magnet and having this question answer: how can I get clients to chase after me? That's the bedrock of what the celebrity CEO principle is about. So we'll dive into some maybe a few key points And then we'll see where that goes. And if you want to talk about it, because we're a little different, I'm not right there with you on a main stage, and it's not a Zoom. It's kind of, I want to make sure I serve you all best with how we are, not just have you stare at a screen and go off to sleep, because then I'll go off to sleep and then Elaine will be angry at all of us. So a little bit about me, and I think you already have my bio, but I'll do it. I have the pictures here, right? So I might as well show it, right, Zach? I mean, hey, pictures are worth 1,000 words. So there's, let's see, there's me testifying to Congress. That was a really cool experience. No handcuffs, no indictment, no Robert Mueller. That was nice. And there's a picture. I had a picture of just President Obama here, and half the audience groaned. Oh, you could hear it. So I said, you know what? Let me be equal opportunity. I have Trump, I have Obama, Republican, Democrat. Everybody's happy, depending on where you are, but you get the point. So I was able to interview the president, and that was really cool. 300,000 people applied, and me and 5 other Americans were selected. Then Ivanka Trump, there's in India, and I got her to turn around and take a selfie with me. So I'll move on from that, but those are a few key cool things about me. So let me move on for the show, the talk of the day. All right. So corporate brand versus personal brand. That's something I'm often asked about. And maybe I'll stop and maybe ask you all. Anybody want to raise their hand who knows the difference between corporate brand and personal brand? Anybody who's not an expert in communications want to answer that question? Corporate brand versus personal brand. Anybody want to just raise the hand or shout it out? Go for it, Zach. I feel the love.
All right. Well, a corporate brand is a company brand, and a personal brand would be me, would just be myself. And am I bigger than the company I work for, or is the company bigger than me?
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay,
do
good.
they see me as Comstock Mining, or do they see me as Zach Spencer?
I love it. And Cassandra, who's the gentleman next to you again? What's his name? Nico. And Zach, thank you for answering. I was looking at Nico and I said Zach, but you did well because I said your name. So Nico, is Zach right or wrong?
Right.
Why?
Your personal brand isn't representative necessarily of the brand that you work for. I could be a Nike CEO, but I could be rocking Adidas every single day.
Exactly. Thank you, Zach, and thank you, Nico. Can we give them a round of applause? All right, good. So that's correct. And today what I want to focus on, though, is the personal brand side, because corporate brand is like Adam's Hub, right? It's the corporate identity, the logo. Yes, indeed. What we think about it, what people think about us when we're not there, sure. But for me, personal brand, for us very small businesses, we can be an asset for our companies. And that's kind of my jam, which is what I want to touch on. When I think about why personal branding can be important, there's so many reasons there. But I think one I'll pick out, you become sought after, right? Sometimes small businesses, and all of you are mature business owners to some degree, we have to lower our prices. And we don't have to, but there's things like that because we're so afraid of the competition. We're not well known. Who are you? But once you have a solid personal brand, you don't have to worry about lowering prices. You don't have to worry about somebody leaving you because they want you. And so I've experienced that in my own business. I work for very, very large technology brands who serve very, very small businesses. That's my niche. I'm known by every one of those brands. Zoho, Keep, Microsoft, AT&T, Verizon, SAP, Salesforce, all of them know Ramon, Alibaba, and all of them have been my clients or are my clients today. Even Hulu is a client of mine. So anybody who's a large company working with a small business, they know Ramon Ray. I don't have them all as my clients at one time, but just explaining even in my own, this is the advantage of personal brand. They know Smart Hustle, but I've built the brand Ramon Ray. When I do this, this kind of means my face, my imagery, what I'm doing in the marketplace over the last 20 plus years. And I'm going to talk about some key things that may help you all on this journey or as you're sharing with others. So 2 principles I want to talk about of building one's personal brand or being the celebrity CEO of your brand is as follows. So one really rubric. It's easier to ask for a smile than to ask for a sale. Zach was the 3rd human that I talked to today, and me and him had a dialogue. Metaphorically, I smiled at him. He smiled at me, right? You can't help it. If I was a moron, he would have been a moron. I wasn't a moron. He wasn't a moron. You get what I mean. I'm having some fun here, but my point is, sometimes we go right for the kill. Could you buy from me? Could you buy from me? Could you buy from me? We're so desperate to make a sale when we don't do what my friend John Jantz talks about. Some of you may have read the book Duct Tape Marketing, really popular small business. I see some nods. Good. I was just with John Jantz last week. And I think he's the one who coined this saying of know, like, and trust. So your know, like, and trust index is built if you just ask for a smile and be a nice person. So we'll talk about what that means in reality in a bit. And the second principle, ask for a smile before you ask for a sale. And the second part is to build a community of fans that you nurture to the sale. I'd rather, instead of having Nico buy from me today, I'd rather first have all of you just in my fan base, just like me. Because if all of you like me, then that means Nico and Cassandra and maybe Tom and Mike will buy from me at some point. If you do this, if I'm really clear on who I'm serving and what problem I'm solving for them. So that's really clear. I'm trying to sell Elaine a lovely blouse or something, right? But if she's the wrong market, hey, Elaine, do you want to buy my red hot blouse that says, wah, 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 every time you move? That was a dumb example, and Elaine doesn't want a red hot blouse that goes, wah, 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 wrong market. And what's the lovely lady behind Elaine? What's her?
Cindy.
Cindy with a C, right? Cindy? Yeah. Cindy, she may be in the market for that. In that case, I can nurture, I can target, I can talk to her all day long. Eventually she'll buy. So none of this will work if we're not serving or targeting or talking to the right customer segment. So a few things that are important, I think, on this journey of, as we're seeking to build our personal brand, one thing for sure is the aspect of excitement. I think this is really, really important. It sounds weird, but I'm sure some of you have dealt with some industries or come across people who said things like, I'm just a lawyer. I'm just an accountant. Take it or leave it. Yeah, do you want to buy my services? How can I? Really? No, you should wake up. I'm an accountant or I'm a venture capitalist, whatever it is. So I think the excitement of what we're doing as small business owners is very important. Another thing I think that's really important as we're on this rubric of building our brands, especially being a celebrity CEO, building a solid personal brand, is networking. Anybody here not like networking? Let me ask another question. How many in the room consider yourself introverts? My wife raised her hand. She's up there. So Nico and my wife. All right. Ronnie, can you say hi to Nico real quick? Just say hi, Nico.
Hi, Nico.
Nico, can you say hi to Ronnie? Can you say hi, Ronnie?
Hi, Ronnie.
She didn't hear you because I have my headphones, but he said hi. So awesome. So you guys are the introverts. You guys are shy. I get it. But I'm telling you, and now so others. So how many then like networking or just don't? How many like networking? Let me ask the question differently. How many like networking? Okay, y'all are weird people. Nico, you must feel lonely sometimes, man. Or loved and welcome, right? You know, Nico walks in trying to sit against the wall and Cassandra, hi, Nico, what's your name? How are you? He's like, oh boy, leave me alone. But but I do find that networking and getting out in the community, it's an asset. So this is also a part of the rubric, I think, of building a strong personal brand. This doesn't mean everybody has to network the same way, but networking is important. I'll tell you how serious I take it. I have another version of business cards, but here's my business cards.
Love it.
I don't know if you can see that. They're all different, right? So.
Love it. Great idea.
So, yeah. So my point is, you know, networking is very important, getting out there and connecting with people. Okay. So, influencers are very important. Who is in your influencer network? Who are people who you can say, I know that person. I can connect to that person. So now why is that important? Because there's people who you can advance, who can take your business to the next level as far as mentorship and et cetera. But then there may be truly influential people in your industry. And again, I'll pick on Elaine to a degree, but I'm making some assumptions as the executive director of Adams Hub. She is maybe invited some places. She's on board. She's with local politicians. You get my drift, right? So imagine some of you could say, hey, yeah, I'm a buddy of Elaine. We're LinkedIn buddies. and I'm sure all of you have your own networks, but I find that as you're looking to be the celebrity CEO in your industry, as you're looking to dominate your marketplace, as you're looking to be more well-known, you don't just want to know your customers. You just don't want to know people you can serve, but you also want to up that game very strategically and connect to other people. Today, I had a meeting with somebody, never met her before. Well, I've seen her, listened to her in podcasts and et cetera. She knows somebody who's one of the highest selling Honda dealers in the world. She's his client. I talk to this guy 6 days a week or so on Clubhouse, the audio only app. His best friend is another guy who's on Clubhouse, and this guy mentored her in business. So what I'm trying to get at is networking strategically is important because it can take your business to the next level. And that person who's networked knows other people that can advance you further. Does that make sense? Is that a little helpful? Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to move to a kind of a second stage of personal branding. And this is the personal branding toolbox. Nico, are you ready? Are you excited? Are you ready to go around and shake everybody's hand? Okay. My wife isn't either, don't worry. So this is the personal branding toolbox. We've talked before, again, to recap, 2 principles. Build a community of fans that you nurture to a sale. That's 1. Point number 2, you're doing that to ask for a smile before you ask for a sale. You're looking to not be the boring spaghetti, no frills brand of your industry, but you want to pop and sizzle a bit. And we're going to get into some steps on how to do that and how to raise your brand credibility, raise your personal brand, not just a corporate brand, but raise your personal credibility. Okay? Any questions, thoughts, comments, critique? We'll critique. We won't take right now. You can mail that to me afterwards. So 1, a personal website and domain name. Anybody in the room have a website with your name or something that's not just corporate, something that's about you? Anybody have a website like that? All right. So Tom, that's you, Tom, right? In the okay. So Tom, as a speaker,
because I went to the stage of reserving my domain, toolbox.com. I've never done anything with it, so I got to get unstuck. I got to take my own advice.
Yeah, I got my car keys out of my pocket, Tom, but I didn't start the engine. Car didn't go anywhere. So, all right, let's get with it. And I did mine, by the way. If you have a web browser, you can do it afterwards. RamonRay.com. I did mine on Wix. You can use Squarespace. You can hire somebody, use WordPress. Something I think people here maybe have resources to do it. So yeah, it's doable, Tom. So personal website and domain name, I'm a firm believer. I think it's important to have that. I believe that, yes, you should have the corporate brand, right? That's important. But I believe, again, as we're trying to telegraph who we are, as we are the best assets for our company, I find having that personal domain, personal brand, what showcases you is important. Yeah, it's great that Elaine is, one little bio on Adams Hub. Great. And I'm saying all this teasing and metaphorically, but Elaine should have the, Elaine E or ElaineEntrepreneur.com address for maybe when she's just speaking in her own right or whatever. You feel me? It can help each other. Elaine has her press and her news. She was on podcast. That's on the Elaine website. But then that can feed and be an asset for the Adams Hub as well. As Adam Hub is more well-known, it can also help Elaine. So I hope you're seeing this cross. Are you all kind of understanding what I'm trying to showcase there? That having a personal website, personal domain, you are an asset for your brand. You're an asset for your company. Second thing I find really important to do. Some people may say it's old school. Everybody wants to do TikTok videos. Dun, dun, dun. That's what everybody's doing. Even my daughter, Daddy, can we just get this all day long? Really? But I find good old-fashioned blogging is important. So what is blogging? For those, by the way, how many of you blog or do any consistent thought leadership online? Anybody consistent every week, every day, anybody? Okay, nobody's, few people. Okay. Was that a full hand raise or half hand raise? Half. Okay. It's like, yeah. What's that, Cassandra? What's that? I'm going to take all that as a no.
Okay.
So as you're looking to raise your profile of you as a person, blogging can be an important asset. Remember, as I said, building a community of fans, nurturing them to a sale. As you're blogging, people are seeing your name associated with your thought leadership, seeing your name associated with what your expertise at. I blog quite a bit on different variety of platforms. And I find that and I'm not going to go into it deep today, but you can set up a little editorial calendar. What are the things I know best? And what can I be sharing with people? My friend Marcus Sheridan does this very well. His book, They Ask, You Answer, is a really good book where he talks about how he just answered questions, about 300 questions he answered about pools. New York Times covered him. Pools as in swimming pools. And he said after a time, his little company, his little pool company, just a little dingy company, became known the celebrity CEO in that area because they were the go-to source for everything about pools. And I bet all of you have a little resource in Carson City. I could be wrong, but I bet there's a go-to little company or some resource that everybody knows. Ask Jimmy, ask Becky, whatever, maybe a little restaurant, little car dealership, hardware store, whatever. And maybe that store doesn't even mind if you go in and not buy. You feel what I'm getting at, but they're like, everybody knows, ask this person. You accomplish that by They Ask, You Answer. Okay. So this is the principle of blogging in a way. It's putting out your content, your thought leadership all over. This is how I built my business. I do stuff. So one of my clients is a telecommunication company, $1 billion brand. Do you know what let me give another client. SAP, I'll use them as an example. You know what they said? Ramon, we see your videos. We know you like burnt pancakes and bacon on the weekend. We're going to hire you. Really? And that's the blogging I'm talking about. It's putting yourself out there and sharing information, a few percentage points being a little silly, being transparent. But by blogging, you get your name out there. So I encourage you to blog in here, and I can send you these slides, but these are just some platforms you can use to blog. Medium. Anybody heard of Medium? Okay, good. So Medium, some of you have good. So Medium, LinkedIn, WordPress, these are all sources you all can use for your own blogging needs. And LinkedIn is the easiest, right? Most of you know LinkedIn. It's an easy place. Once a week, once every 2 days, just get on there and share. That's blogging. And you link that to a website. You link that to a PDF. You link that to build your email list, which we'll get to in a minute. But that's the power of blogging. Does it make sense? Any comments, thoughts on that? Okay. All right, moving along. Social engagement, my jam. I think social media was made for me. I think when Mark Zuckerberg was making Facebook, he thought of Ramon. That's what I think. So I'm a firm believer in using the power of social media for small businesses. And this is a huge topic. There's many ways to do it right, many ways to do it wrong. How many here would consider yourself ninjas of social media or really, really good at social media? Raise your hand. Really, really good. Okay, good. Good, guys. I like that. Double raise. Got it? Good. And can you share what's one or two tips we can learn from you? Shout out real loud. One big tip, one thing you're finding that's really working well.
Consistency.
And say it one more time.
Consistency and being authentic.
That's right. And I know you can't see my hands. I went like this. My hands are up in the air like this too. So, all right. So frequency, relevancy, engagement. And I'm echoing what you said. This is the key to social media success. That's about it. Just being frequent. People are like, oh, I posted on Twitter last month. We have a strategy to post on Pinterest once a year. No, it's not going to work that way. It doesn't work. But those who are frequent, those who are relevant, and those who have engaging content, you will win the day. What are we talking about? Build a community of fans and nurturing them to a
Smile.
Yeah. Smile is ask for a smile before there's a sale. There's 2 S's. It's okay. We're going to get it. But good guess. So ask for a smile before there's a sale and nurture a community of fans till they buy from you. So frequency, relevancy, engagement. That's it. That's how you succeed leveraging the power of social media. And I find that many small businesses, they're not doing that. But it's not just social media alone. I also find we're looking to be the celebrity CEO of our industry. Email newsletters, old-fashioned email newsletters are also very, very essential. Everybody here, or who here has a email newsletter they consistently do? Okay. And how do you do Zach, can you turn to the lady behind you and ask her name for me? I don't want her to think I don't know it. What's her? Just ask her.
Oh, my name's Renee.
Renee, guys, thank you.
In case anybody else missed it.
Renee, tell me about your email newsletter. Tell me a little bit about it. What do you do?
Well, so we do it for ourselves, but we also do it for our clients too. So like I've got email newsletters that I'm putting out for clients, talking about podcasts, talking about different, I have a professional speaker on our client role. So we're sending information out for her, and then putting out nurture campaigns and getting people to sign up for different things and putting them into buckets and all the places.
And the email newsletter that went out today, if I signed up for the email newsletter today, would I get the content that you posted last month also? If it was great content, if you understand what I'm asking. If last month you posted 10 ways to vacuum your carpet great, and I signed up to the email newsletter today, would I get that article?
You should.
Why would I?
Well.
Because you already sent it out.
Yeah. Well, so no, you would get put into your own bucket, and then we would determine whether or not we want to send you new stuff or link back to old stuff, because there's some content that should be evergreen that you can link back to in case somebody new joins your website or joins your email.
So you'd have to link, and how would you link back to it? Like, how does that work?
There's ways that you can, in the sequencing, that you can put old content in.
Got it.
Drop in.
Okay, so I'm gonna blow your mind, Renee. Can I do that? Can I just blow your mind?
Please.
All right, and I may not, because you may be doing this, but I just want to show you all something about email newsletters, how I do it, but you can't tell anybody. This just stays between us, okay? And I know this is being recorded, so editor, when you're looking at this, you know, like the CIA blacks out stuff. So what I'm saying, audit the audio, so they can't hear what I'm saying, editor, okay? So I'm just joking. All right, so Renee, this is for you. Here it goes. I'm going to show you this. I think I'm showing you. This is just one thing I want to show you. And I'm going way off script here. Let me see if I can share this somehow. How do I share this? Can I share this even? I don't even know if I can. Yeah. I think I can. 1 second here, Renee. Yes, I can. I've never done this like this before. Oh, yes. Okay. No, I didn't share it. Okay, that's okay. Let me go back to where I was. I hope I can go back to where I was. Okay, yeah. Well, Renee, I thought I was going to blow your mind. I was going to share something. Let me try one more time. Oh, let me try this way. Yes, I think this. Wow. It's okay. I will go back to what I was doing. What I wanted to show you, Renee, is a email sequence. That's what I wanted to show you is I use Keep, and the software doesn't matter, to have email sequences done. So when I type my email newsletters, it goes into a campaign. And a lot of what I write is evergreenish. So what I'm saying is that when somebody signs up today, if last year I wrote something, 7 ways to smile better, that content's still relevant. So everybody starts at day 1. That's kind of what I wanted to show you, but I'll figure out how to, you know how it is, Zach? You're looking for that pen. You just had the pen, but since your favorite client walked into the room, you can't find the pen. They have to leave the room, and then the pen magically appears on your desk. That's kind of what just happened. I was trying to work on my computer to show the screen, but I have 2 monitors and I can't quite get it working. Let me move on. But the point is, I hope I can convince you, email newsletters are important because we still use them. They still have open rates. They still have high engagement rates. And I think email newsletters are still very important. And how many are not using email newsletters quite that much? Anybody not doing email? Okay, good. I won't tell anybody. But listen, a few things, and some of you may know it. A great subject line, great content, don't spam people, and be consistent. This is pretty much the name of the game to a great email newsletter, okay? Few tips there. So another thing that's really important is the power of video. My favorite topic as we're looking on the thing, how can we be celebrity CEOs of our industry? How can we build up our personal brands? And all we're sharing here is the production of content on multiple platforms, multiple different ways that we can't help surrounding Cassandra's head with Ramon's brand. All she can think about and see is Ramon, because I've targeted her, right? she's a right fit. That's important. So she's going to want to hear from me. And I'm giving her multiple ways to hear from me. You get what I'm trying to convey to you. Email, social media, websites, etc. Blogging. That's what we're getting at. So there's no excuse that when they wake up in the morning, they see Ramon. So video is another important thing that I highly suggest all of you consider doing. 3 kind of videos you may want to consider. There's glamour videos where kind of, Zach, how it is, our hair's blowing back in the wind and, the music is playing. Yes, exactly. Music is playing. So we have glamour videos. I'll bring that back up, which is maybe we do once a year, twice a year, or meaning it's a little more professionally done. Education videos. That's the videos that I kind of do frequently. You can even get at your phones now. If you Google me, you'll see tons of videos. I've done probably Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I've probably done several videos today. So education videos. And then you have personal videos. Get a little personal about your life. Like, for example, I've been dieting. And as you can see there, that's an example of I try to have no more than 6 chocolate chip cookies a day and 2 glasses of cold milk. That's what I do to be fit. Don't judge. Everybody has their own methodology. But point is, get a little personal. So that's something, Tom, as you're looking to be a professional speaker, video is an important way. It humanizes and personalizes your brand. Hey, this is Tom. Listen, I don't know nothing about leadership, but I'm still going to talk to you about leadership. Hire me. Maybe not that video, but something like that. So video is an important tool and a component that you can use to do it. It brings you to life, right? It's a high form of engagement, and it personalizes and humanizes your brand. I've done video all the time, and it's rocketed my business. Now, some of you may be saying, hey, Ramon, I really don't like video. I don't like being in front of video. I'm not, whatever reason may be. And I get it. That's okay. We're all different. That's just, for me, I'm comfortable. I like the camera, like video. I feel I can showcase, smile. Hey, that's me, right? Some of you may be a little different. So, Mike, right? Mike?
Yeah.
Is that Mike? Yeah, Mike, what about yourself, Mike? I know, any thoughts on video? Do you use video, like video? Do you not like video?
Hey, I love videos.
Okay.
I haven't seen a camera I don't like.
Give us a tip. Give us a tip, or give us a piece of advice.
I mean, when you think about it, Ramon and others, videos really sell who you are. Your personality shows, it gleams. They can see that true you, and you can be yourself. I think a lot of people sometimes they get behind a camera video, they take on a different persona, but the key is being yourself. Let them see you smile. Let them see that you genuinely care about them. Yeah. I mean, whether it's a personal branding or your company's brand, being a former teacher, I was on stage every day in the classroom. So I got my practical experience early, because how can you keep a bunch of hormones on feet, middle school kids entertained? So you have to, be entertaining, because that's what you're doing. You're performing each and every day. So that just transcends to what I'm doing now. So I love it.
I want to see you on stage. I feel like coming to your concert or talk or church or whatever you do. I want to hear like for a whole hour. So thank you, Mike, for sharing. You're right. So video is powerful. Appreciate it, brother. Video is powerful, really powerful. And those who may not want to do it, I would consider doing it in some way, shape, or form. All you need is your phone. Your phone is the most powerful tool you have, and you can just do it and learn it and things like this. Awesome pictures and images, I think, are also an important part of that. Listen, there's photographers all around. You can pay the photographer or get it for free, take your own video, selfies. But remember, people make assessments of us. We just can't help that. So you want to try to put your best foot forward or best smile forward and try to get some professional shots that you can use throughout your brand, throughout your website and things like this. So we'll move to the third leg of personal branding, what I call 4 power tools. Anybody have any questions or comments or thoughts or anything they want to say before we go to 4 power tools? Anybody want to comment, thought, suggestion, critique? Tell me to get lost, anything? Okay. All right. With that, we'll go on. Why don't we have a commercial break? Hey, everybody, thanks for coming to Adams Hub. My name is Ramon Ray, a virtual professor at Adams Hub. Now back to your regular programming. All right. So we're back. All right. So 4 power tools. 1, publish a book. I'm a firm believer that everybody who wants to consider building their personal brand should publish a book. How many here have published a book at all? Okay, Elaine, good. So I want to challenge all of you have a book inside of you. I'm sure you do. And I would encourage all of you to consider publishing a book. Why not? I mean, you brush your teeth. Why wouldn't you publish a book? To me, they're like, I mean, right, Zach? I mean, duh, right? I mean, it's natural, right? I mean, you have a driver's license. Why wouldn't you go on Elon Musk rocket ship? These are things in life that are very similar. It's just you ate pizza today. Why wouldn't you ride a dolphin barebacked? I mean, it's just some things just. Zach is like, nah, Ramon, that one, I was with you the other two with that one. Nah, a little. All right. So, publishing a book does a few things. And as some of you may know, but I really advocate it. It builds credibility. That's why I published my book. As Seth Godin, some of you may know the name, world famous marketer will say, a book's not going to make you much money. It's not, if you're trying to get rich off a book, unless you're Tom Clancy, or I know he died, but somebody famous like that, but it's a credibility booster. You're able to say, hey, I'm Ramon Ray, blah, 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 and I'm a published author. I've written 4 books. So it builds credibility. It's a boost of overall branding. When your book comes out, it's kind of an opportunity, an excuse. Hey, Adam, so my new book's coming out. Would you like me to fly and speak to your event? Or, hey, MSNBC, or you feel what I mean. So it's another reason for that. And it's an excuse for media coverage. So a book is a great hook. And a book it's an opportunity. It's a feather in your cap. It adds credibility. And it's a good opportunity to get you a branding boost. So I'm a firm believer that everybody should have a book. Second thing I think you all should consider is producing an event. I've produced many, many events, very similar to a book, but a little different. And this, what we're doing tonight in a way, is an Adams Hub event, right? It adds a little bit of credibility to the community, right? A little cachet. It's something to brag about, talk about. Hey, we're having an event. It may not be that way as you're seeing it, but I think you all get the drift. An event is something you can hang your hat on. So an event for a few reasons. One, also builds credibility. You can build your email list. You're the top dog. And Niku, remind me, what's something that's important to you, Niku? What's one of your expertises? What's something that's important to you?
Engineering.
Engineering. Okay. What kind of engineering?
Process and logistics.
And what does that mean?
I can go into just about any environment, sit with every role there, and tell it how to do it better.
And how to what?
Do it better, more efficient.
I got it. Okay. So if you came to my living room and looked on my shelf where my family has some cluttered stuff, you could tell us how to make it look better?
Yeah.
I know you couldn't. No, you couldn't do it. Trust me. But it's okay. Stick to NASA or whatever you're doing. I'm just teasing, Niku. But yes, good. So you could have an event. Imagine, Niku, that you had an event, the engineering summit in Carson City. You got together 3 to 4 people you knew who were speakers and had a room full of 25 people. There's your first Carson City Engineering Festival. You get what I'm trying to say. And you're the one who hosted it, Niku. You're the one who's on stage, like this picture of me, right? This is, I crafted this intentionally. Some of you may know the name Seth Godin. Look whose name is behind me. Look who's on stage. Look where I'm positioned. To position myself. This doesn't mean it's inauthentic. It's not faking it, but you feel what I mean. As the celebrity CEO, sometimes you want to craft things to continue to build your brand. So events can do that. So build credibility, build your list. You're the top dog. You can invite VIPs. People who normally wouldn't come, wouldn't normally pay attention. They pay attention when there's a nice event happening. And you can take the content from that event and market it out after the event. So events are a great way overall to build the personal brand of your business, yes, but also to build your own personal brand. And Tom, I do recommend events are a great way for you as well as you're building your speaking career. I'm sure, Tom, 10 people, 5 people who are a little bit farther ahead of you, in business, whatever, who will do you a solid. Hey guys, gals, come, could you speak at my little event or big event I'm doing, and invite people. You do that on a regular basis, you'll start to build your credibility. And I did that, back in 2005 was my idea for the first event. I was tired of not being picked. Like the school girl or school boy who's not picked on the volleyball team. They're like, screw y'all. I get my own team of slow people. We're the slowers. We're the best, whatever it is. That was a terrible name, the slowers. But it could work. So, all right. Other thing that's really important on this journey of being the celebrity CEO of your brand is media exposure. Media exposure. Yes, you're getting media exposure to get the exposure, something Zach knows very well. It's his whole industry, right? It gives you the exposure. Maybe you get some money from it, people buy, but it's not an ad. The real reason I think you're getting the media exposure is for the credibility. You're getting it to have your name out there, right? But then you're telling everybody, even those who didn't see you, look, Ma, I was on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, the local Nevada affiliate, whatever it was. That's why you're getting publicity. And publicity is something you can do on your own. I've been in the news many, many times pitching on my own, or I've also hired a communication person to do it. And I recognize we're at the top of the hour. Elaine, do I have a few more minutes to finish through this, or should I stop here?
Keep going.
Okay. This seemed like that seemed like a vote to me, was the vote stolen or not? Who knows? So, all right. So we're only a few more points here. Another tip here is to create your own show. And by create your own show, podcast, Facebook Live, YouTube, I don't care what it is. I had a show back in the day meaning just a few years ago, 3 Tech Guys. I bought the domain name. So the reason shows are important, again, all we're doing is 2 things: asking for a smile before we ask for a sale, using the principle of building a community of fans that you educate to a sale. So in Niku's case, hey, everybody, welcome to Niku Engineering, where we talk about weird ways you can use engineering to help your life be better. Baby diapers. You think you can't use baby diapers to help you in engineering? How many of you have a squeaky refrigerator? Take the baby diaper, put it between your teeth, split the baby diaper open, take out the stuff in the baby diaper, and put it in your refrigerator. Watch this. No more squeaky fridge. I'm Niku with Niku Engineering. Welcome to episode 1, all about using a baby diaper in a very stupid way from Ramon Ray, because he doesn't know what he's talking about to make a refrigerator not squeak. You feel me, Niku? Don't use that example, Niku, but you're getting some idea, at least a little bit. You can talk to Mike to make it proper, but you get my point, Niku? Okay, good. So create your own show, a regular thing that you're doing on a regular basis to promote yourself. And here's the benefit of creating your own show, right? This is what I did. Yeah, we're doing this today, in fact. Imagine if I was doing this every week, or Adam's Hub was doing it. The Adams Hub show, where we bring thought leaders from around the world right to Carson City. You make it a show. You put graphics, you put yourself integrated in it, and you make it up. You can see how I did it, right? I just had my team put together graphics. I called it New Series, Ask Ramon. How revolutionary. It took me a lot to think about that, right? You get my point, right? Ask Adam. Wow. I love it. AA. No, maybe don't have that. Yeah, that would do good. But anyways, you get my point. So having a show of some sort, because not only is the show, but it's about telegraphing that you're having this show, right? And I know Zach knows this well. It's all about the messaging, the story. Like I tell people, even like, if we ever have a car accident, like you see it coming, videotape the sucker. Before we call Geico will tell them we have 1 million views on YouTube. We'll pay for itself. So let me go on before I digress. This is another tip for you, by the way. Hope this is, if you understand the spirit I'm saying this. I make imagery. Yeah, it's a little bit, maybe people may think it's arrogant or something or grandiose, but this is being the celebrity CEO. If I'm flying to Houston, I could have done this today, but I stopped doing it a bit, but I'm going to Houston. I put a little graphic together saying, join Ramon in Houston. Over time, it makes me look important, right? Over time, it makes me look like a player in a good way. Some people kind of resist self-promotion, right? But it is a good way to telegraph what you're doing, because you want to keep uplifting your brand. Remember, if you're not doing stuff like this, then you are the plain vanilla spaghetti that Ramon's mama bought back in the day. And we don't want to be that. You feel what I'm saying? You want to pop and sizzle and look like a star, look like a celebrity. And again, I say that because I've helped people with this tons of times, and there's always a certain segment of the class, certain segment of people, well, isn't that kind of getting my name out there? Aren't I kind of like being self-promotional? Yes, you are. You want to, right? So let's move on. Yeah, I think this is it. We're at the summary of this is looking at my slides here. And I think, yeah, this is it. You can do this. Just be mediocre in the middle. Just kind of ho-hum. Hi, my name is Zach. I know communication. Nobody wants that. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 people. We want to be this. We want to pop and sizzle. That's the idea of what I'm trying to convey. So that's the virtual version of this. Thoughts, comments, insights. Were you underwhelmed? Was it helpful? If it wasn't helpful, don't raise your hand. Was this helpful? Everybody just raise your hand real quick. Everybody in the room. Can everybody in the room just raise your hand? Okay. Was it helpful? Great. Okay.
So Ramon, I have a question. May I ask
please.
A question?
Yes, sir.
Going back to your why events, where you build credibility, you build your list, you were the top dog. So, if you didn't talk about when do we charge, when do we, everything should be pro bono. I mean, at some point, for me, to get that credibility, you want to not make it too high, but earlier you was talking about, well, I get to bring my costs down because people say, who are you? You just get into the business.
Right.
But yet I don't want to sell myself short. You didn't speak about that. At what point do you charge for these events, or you kind of have it at the point where you can make some revenue?
Yeah. Great question, Mike. And I think it depends on why you're doing it. What's the ROI, dollar value,
Right.
or something else? So if I may use Adams Hub, just as an example, I'm not familiar with the town, but play with me here, Mike. Fair enough? Play with me a bit. So let's say Adams Hub. Adams Hub has a glitzy event in the evening, a reception. Yes, Adams Hub team, Elaine can say, you know what? We need to break even. We're going to charge $50. But let's say whoever your favorite politician, Beyonce, whoever was in the area. And Elaine's like, okay, you know what? We can fill this with 100 people of the donors and best people of the area. The mayor's going to come. So what I'm trying to get at, Mike, is that I've done some events sometime where for me, it was an investment that I ate the cost to put myself higher because somebody from Inc.com came, and next month I was featured in Inc.com. Feel me? So hence, it was like I didn't charge people because I wanted more people to come, cameraman, creating the event, and not a slimy way, just, oh, Ramon's having another entrepreneur event in New York City. Or I could charge for the event. Most of the time you have less people. So you're weighing it. So I like your point because you're right. You don't want to lose money. But I was just talking about the events where your main purpose is, I want to get the money shot of me on stage. In that case, somebody may choose to lose money the first year. And then once they have it and they have some video from it, now you can charge for it. Is that helpful?
Very helpful. Thank you. And then one last question, I guess.
Please.
Personal, and then it could be your niche. I noticed that most of your pictures, you're wearing quarter zip sweaters with a tie. Is that you?
I've switched it throughout, but great observation. Yes. The one I have here, I think this is my profile one. Yes. And I've changed it. It's funny you said that because as a professional speaker, Tom, you'll appreciate this as you do this more, traveling in planes, I could get off the plane at 7 a.m. with that, walk on stage and get back on the plane. Yeah. As many of the guys, ladies too know, suit jacket, just a different comfort level, like on the plane and stuff, you got to worry about it. So that was that. But now I've switched to suit jackets. I just shake things up. A great observation, but definitely there was a time about the pop and sizzle, the brightness of it. My socks, I think, in fact, oh no, I have the regular black socks on today. My man, see, there we go.
But people tell me in Carson City, they said, Mike, guys just wear jeans here. You overly dressed. You don't have to here. So I just have to watch what I put on.
I hear you. Thank you so much. Anybody else? And then Elaine can tell us how she wants to carry on the rest of the night. But anybody else? We got some time.
I had a comment to add. You kind of hinted towards it at the end when you talked about getting a video. Is part of what I'm doing to launch a business is I'm enrolled in a course, and one of their advice is to bridge that gap from free speaking to how do you get paid. Is you establish a price, and that's a guessing game, but there's ways around it. And that's what you advertise is my speaking rate is X. But if that's not in your budget, we could probably work something out. Can you help me? Would you be shooting any video there? And you get a quid pro quo, and that sets you up because now you have marketing material and it's much easier to charge for the next one.
Absolutely.
The advice I got from the course is you should always get some win out of it. And it may not be money. It may be exposure. It may be direct contacts, and it may be a favor. where a good friend of mine, that's how he did it. He did one way below his cost to do it. But as he got a firm commitment, because he knew the sponsor very well,
right,
I'm going to introduce you to 30 of my peers.
Correct.
And it literally launched his business.
Correct. No, you're right, Tom. I think it's great advice. And I think always remember as well, the mostest, but best way to get more is to dominate the stage. And a venue like this, a little different. I hope I served you well, but a little different. Thank you, Elaine. But definitely talking about on stage speaking, that's just the best way. And that will, because there are those who have the domain knowledge. Everybody probably in this room could talk, 5 ways to use Twitter, for example. I bet Elaine could talk about it. Zach or whatever, social media, how to write a headline. But what separates then, or at least where my gift is the entertainment side, especially live on stage. So I'm having more and more large brands saying, Ramon, telecommunication, for example, you can't get more boring than that. That's exactly why they hired me. That's exactly why. They wanted me just to host their room on Clubhouse. So to your point, Tom, yes, get paid for it. And there's many different ways to get paid. And don't forget the other part, Tom, the reason to do it, just for the greater good. And you're right. In this relationship here, I often have disciplined myself to ask what's the rate or is there a fee? And my fee, I'll tell you, Tom, my public fee is $20,000. That's how much a private company that's $1 billion brand would pay Ramon to fly for 1 hour. Again, there's more. I'll serve them the whole day, but that's my rack rate. My fee of speaking, $20K. And you're right. I asked.
Nice work. You can get it.
I do. I get it a lot. But meaning, as I see your hand there, but for me, by God's grace, I don't get it for everything, but for the right customer, the right client that needs safety, security, especially my frequent ones, like I say, Oracle. I'll be in Las Vegas with them next week. $1 billion brand. They want Ramon. They know Ramon's not going to curse. He's going to build our brand. If you do it, that's your, I'm saying for me, they already know what they're going to get. So Tom, if I'm like, you know what? Oh, I just woke up today. It's actually 25. Okay. Maybe not okay, but you get my point. But Zach, please. No,
yeah, I think you said earlier about earned media and publicity. And, that's the type of promotion that you can't buy. And even if you could, you wouldn't be able to afford it. And it just, I think it gives you a lot of credibility.
Yes.
But to get to that level, you have to build that foundation. And everything you were speaking about tonight could lead to that type of publicity.
And has led for me all day long. I can turn the engine of publicity on if I want it. I've been in the podcast all the time, but absolutely, I've been live with Maria Bartiromo more than once and other places. So for sure, Zach, you're exactly correct. It leads it when you build all these things, because as we all know, we all do it now. We don't think about it, right? We all do Google search. The ladies do it on their first date. I bet my wife does it too still, even though we've been married 27 years, way past the dating. Point being, a simple Google search turns up what you need to know. So let's say Mike's the producer or whatever of a station. All he's going to do is while I'm walking in, let me Google Ramon. Oh, he doesn't look like any, people want something that uplifts them, what they're doing, right? We all want that. Few of us can get Oprah. We want the next best thing. So what you're saying, Zach, is for sure.
Excellent.
Well, you've definitely got a great presentation. I know I've got a ton of ideas. Yeah, probably going to drive this team crazy because I want to do an Adams Hub show.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And
bringing thought leaders in, and it's just telegraphing it. It's just not making it up, but it's you're getting all the books on my shelf. Hey, like you did me, writing to the top people you want. Hey, listen, we're Adams Hub. We serve entrepreneurs. Could you spend 30 minutes with us? You now have a library called Adams TV. I'm making it up, but whatever don't call it Adams TED Talk. You get sued for that, but you get where I'm going. So yes.
Yeah. Great. And I'm sure everybody out here has great ideas now. You provide a lot of tools, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. This was
awesome.
Excellent. Thank you. Yep.
I can't wait to see that clip, Elaine. Please send me that video, that clip of that. But is that all, Elaine? I'm happy to stay. I have plenty of time, but if that's it, then I'll close the lens. But
yeah, I think it's a wrap.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, great
All right.
job.
Okay. Niku. Niku, do you want to stand up and say, I'm Niku, and I'm going to network. You want to stand up and say that for me? You don't have to. my wife would need it.
Right now.
All right. See y'all later. Have a great night. Thank you for allowing me to serve and be a part of this. Elaine, thank you for choosing me to work with you tonight. And I look forward to working with you again in person or not. Zach, really good chilling with you, Mike, and everybody here. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Bye-bye.